All right, man. So let's talk about Isaiah Stewart. So apparently, there's a report out there that Isaiah Stewart is could be on the trading block. Um, his contract is attractive, and he might be a throw in a deal. In the playoffs, I think he still was hurt, but I think it's more about his contract. You know, um, being able to make things work financially with a deal. Isaiah Stewart is expected to draw interest this summer per Amari Sankford. Quote, will his name come up in trade talks? I'm sure of it. He has 2 years left, 30 million remaining on his contract, so it's 15 million apiece. A very reasonable figure for one of the league's top rim defenders. Postseason performance aside, Stewart is a coveted player. So, yeah, I'm not surprised. The contract. I think he was pretty much hurt in the postseason, to keep it real. Um, but I mean, to make a deal work, you got to lose some people. I mean, but I think this one is a tough one because he's the identity of the Detroit Pistons. He's part of that identity DNA, and for the most part, you lose Stu and you lose possibly Jalen Duren. It's tough. I'd expect them to keep one or both. If I was a betting man, I believe they probably gonna keep both. But yeah, coveted piece and a very team friendly contract. Yeah, I mean, I definitely see this. I definitely see this. This going down. This can go down. I definitely see it. So, quite frankly, hey, if you're gonna bring in a nice player, you bring in a nice player. People ain't going to lose a guy like Stu, and then you do it for a lesser deal. People want to see a splash deal, and no matter how many times Detroit's team show you their definition of a splash deal, ain't a splash deal. It's not a splash deal. But it's people still hold out hope. They still hold out hope. They still hold out hope for this mythical splash deal that's probably not gonna come. That's probably not gonna come about. So more people would be accepting of this if you talking. I'm just throwing names out there as far as stature: KD, Kyrie, Booker. Paulo Brancho. Guys like that. They like, okay, a name. And sometimes they make, teams make deals where, it's a name, it's not a name, but it work out for the best. I mean, you look at, them trading Chucky Atkins and them to Orlando for Bill Wallace, getting Chauncey Billups. I think trading Stackhouse in that Rip Hamilton trade. And it ended up working out for the best. But it wasn't, the splashiest of the splashy names. So I definitely understand, where people's critique and where people coming from. But yeah, I mean, at some point, I think the belief was Terajan Langdon, these wasn't his guys, and he was going to turn over this roster. He just took a more methodical, slow approach to it. And, last year when they didn't give, during that contract, I think that should have told you right then and there where they felt about Jalen Duren. Now he responded with a great year. The postseason wasn't so great for 2 years in a row. The first year, he stayed in foul trouble. But ultimately, Beef Stew got a pass in his postseason performance. He had some blocks here and there, but I don't think he was healthy. Honestly, I don't really think he was healthy. I don't think he was healthy. I think that's why everybody gave him a G pass. So Paul Reed was their best playing big. And the belief is, hey, man, we should just roll with Paul Reed. And JB Bickerstaff, I just think his allegiance to these guys wouldn't allow it to happen. And I think it was also it's a financial thing. It also was a financial thing. So, but but yeah, I think he's gonna be a throw in on the trade. And then also you rocking with people like what's the brother's name? You rocking with people like um Tobias Harris. Will he be a sign and trade? Will they bring him back? All those type of things, man. The Pistons, I think most people expect there to be significant changes. They really do. But I think in the back of everybody's mind, it's like we already know they probably gonna make a couple of tweaks. I know some people mad that, if they go out there and get Trey Murphy, that's not enough. They need to do this, they need to do that, they need this, that, and the third. And hey, it don't have to be a splash. It just has to be able to get them in a championship, get them a championship. We see where they deficient at. And the question is, do they see that where they deficient at? And if they see where they deficient at, I mean, let's fix it. Let's fix it the best way possible. But ultimately, Teresa Landon can do what the fans say do. That's the truth. He can do exactly what the fans say do and come wrong. And then the fans are still, and it turn out wrong. And the fans will still blame him. The fans will still blame him. So you got to remember that. Got to remember it. Got to remember. So obviously, do I expect him to be? I expect him gone. I mean, I could see it happening. I definitely could. But I think it's a 50-50 chance. He's a dirty player, but I would make an impact. People who kill me talking about people are dirty players, bro. Like, being a physical basketball player today makes you a dirty player. That's what I don't understand. You're supposed to be physical. You're supposed to bang. You're supposed to be strong. You're supposed to have, it's a sport. Dirty is like Bill Romanowski from the Broncos. That's dirty. You know what I'm saying? Hard-nosed basketball, hard-nosed sports is not dirty. They so quick to label people dirty. And, ain't never put a helmet on. They never dribble across midcourt. They just keep showing that clip. Nothing Detroit has to offer is attractive outside of K. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Come on. I wish people would have to register. He essentially hasn't played in the playoffs for us. Yeah, he got hurt early last year and didn't play. I don't care what anybody says. When you're watching, you know he was hurt this year. That's exactly what I said. Arthur is right. I'll just leave it on that comment. Arthur was right. But hey, let me know what y'all think. Thumbs up the video, share, subscribe channel. Hit the link in the description. You can find me everywhere from X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, Instagram. The whole 9 piece.